flags fighting against bias based on skin color, race, and everything in between. But hold up for a second. Has anyone ever considered the silent war between mind and body discrimination? Let me ask you a question. What will you do if you accidentally stub your toe? Practically, you'll be limping into the doctor's office with no shame in sight. And here's another question. What will you do if you experience a symptom of mental health? Opening up to it would be like confessing to a crime in it. You'll be sneaking into the psychiatrist's office like it's a secret no one should know about. Well, isn't mind just as much part of you as your physical body? And here's the kicker. We are all taught how to slap a band-aid to a wound and use the first aid like seasoned pros, but why are we never taught how to tackle with issues relating to mental health? I mean, you all know how a heart attack and a diabetes looks like, but do you know how an OCT looks like? Hi everyone, I'm YUNGPICHIPEN, a young teenager who is passionately committed to shattering the stigma surrounding mental health in society. Let's face it, whether we accept it or not, we know how ignorant we are towards mental health. This casual attitude has led to a very huge concern prevalent in the data by the Center of Disease Control. It states that 1 in every 4 individuals experiences mental health symptoms. In India, mental health illnesses are just as common as child breakfast. Yes, 13.7% of our population is struggling from mental illnesses, of which 2% develop severe mental illnesses and are not able to function properly. Anxiety and depression are like the uninvited guest who just won't leave the party. But perhaps the greatest concern is the 11 size stigma surrounding mental health. Our society has this magical ability of turning a blind eye to anything it doesn't understand. Let me prove my statement. I'm sure some of us have seen people being isolated in a room to hide what the society calls a peculiar behavior. There are people who perceive multiple personality disorder, schizophrenia, and depressions as signs of spirit possession. And a few individuals like that one person who told me not to pursue psychology because, according to him, treating people with mental illnesses would drive me to madness. Alas, the society is not even aware that a term called mental health disorder exists. In reference to that, allow me to share a story of someone very close to me. It's about my grandmother. She was a great singer. Sadly, she passed away in April 2023. The melancholic twist in the story, the last time she recognized me must have been in 2017. After that, she started experiencing forgetfulness. The condition was she could not recall her husband, her children, her grandchildren, or even her parents. Gradually, it worsened to an extent where she couldn't even recall if she had taken a meal 5 minutes prior. She was so unsettled she would go to the street without unnoticed and ask each passerby if they knew the route back to her home, the house that she had just left a few minutes ago. And I remember one day a classmate of mine came to me and asked, I'm sorry if it's a little too straight, but what's going on with your grandma? I was dumbstruck. I didn't know what to say, and honestly speaking, I just wanted to escape that situation. But to fill the silence, I told her the only explanation I had that it's the natural effect of aging as my grandma is over 100 years old. But deep inside, I was heartbroken. For I knew what the society must have already labeled her as. As I look back, I can only guess the different possibilities, maybe Alzheimer, maybe dementia, and so much more because she died untreated. I wonder how many more people must be out there suffering without them or their near ones knowing what they are actually going through. Because tragically, My grandma's story is just one among countless others, including a 16-year-old boy who was driven to suicide by the weight of responsibilities thrust upon him after his father's death. We need to be a better listener, folks, because sometimes all it takes, all it takes is a compassionate ear to turn someone's grayscale world into a technicolor masterpiece. True enough, we cannot rewrite the history, but fortunately, we hold the power to shape the future. And so, I embarked on my journey, only equipped with the willpower to understand them without being judgmental and offer them every support I can give. I call this journey of mine Swiss, because who doesn't love a good acronym? So the first is here stands for self-directed learning. I began by educating myself on the basics of the issue, attending workshops and diving deep into psychology, which is my favorite subject. I looked up for resources online, and as the journey commenced, the reality hit. Without physical bruises, they were fighting a terrible fight within, behaving in a way they haven't voluntarily chosen to. We represents volunteering. Soon I found myself indulging into various volunteering activities. I joined mental well-being clubs that concerned imparting practical knowledge on emotional intelligence and looking after the well-being of my schoolmates. I represent inspiration. Through in-depth exploration, I found many inspirations. I got to know that Adam Levine, the famous singer of memories, has ADHD. Elon Musk, the founder and CEO of SpaceX, and Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, are both on autism spectrum. And of course, Deepika Padukone showing depression, who's the boss. The next S stands for sharing knowledge. The real magic began when I started sharing my newfound wisdom with my friends. And how did I do that? So imagine this. You are casually chatting over tea, gossiping about the latest campus drama, and you suddenly throw a topic like mental health. You can compare it to sneaking vegetables into a smoothie. It remains unnoticed until it hits you with a burst of vitamins and nutrients. The last S tells us to stand strong. Truth be told, the journey to destigmatize mental health is like climbing Mount Everest in flip flops. There will be times when you'll feel like giving up. There will be negative comments and undesirable responses. But we have to make it to the top. Well, today is another journey for this young teenager who is not a mental health guru, but is passionately committed to shattering the stigma surrounding mental health in society. Standing on this TED platform, I am only hoping that the seed of awareness planted here will continue to grow within each of you and may it inspire you to lend your voice as it matures. Thank you.